Let's get right into it. Number 1. From far away, Mercury looks calm. A small, quiet world glowing near the sun. But if you could step onto its surface, it would kill you faster than almost anywhere in the solar system. Not with explosions, not with violence, but with silence, heat, and cold beyond imagination. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, yet it lives in constant contradiction. When sunlight hits its surface, the ground doesn't just warm, it burns. Temperatures rise to 430 degrees Celsius. Hot enough to weaken metal, hot enough to shatter stone, hot enough to overwhelm any machine ever built by humans. There is no breeze, no clouds, no sky to soften the light, just raw solar fire. But when the sun disappears, the heat vanishes with it. Without a real atmosphere to trap warmth, Mercury loses everything. Temperatures crash to minus 180 degrees Celsius. Cold so deep that materials become brittle. Cold so absolute that even motion feels frozen. On this planet, day and night are not cycles, they are extremes, fire, or ice, nothing in between. If you stood on Mercury, your spacesuit would begin failing almost immediately. On the day side, it would overheat. On the night side, it would lock solid. Even the most advanced NASA technology could not protect the human body from both ends of this world. Survival here isn't difficult, it's impossible. Mercury's surface tells a brutal story. Craters stretch in every direction. Scars from billions of years of asteroid impacts. Jagged cliffs rise without warning. No erosion. No healing. And with almost no atmosphere, there's no margin for error. A spacecraft cannot slow itself naturally. One small miscalculation, and landing becomes a violent collision at cosmic speed. Time behaves strangely on Mercury. One single day lasts nearly half an Earth year. The sun hangs overhead for months, baking the surface relentlessly. And when night finally comes, it lingers just as long, dragging the planet into deep, unbroken cold. There is no escape, only endurance. There is one place where survival almost feels possible, the Terminator Zone. The thin line between day and night. Here, temperatures briefly stabilize. But even that balance is fragile. One step too far, one shift in sunlight, and Mercury reminds you who's in control. Mercury doesn't scream, it doesn't storm, it doesn't threaten, it simply exists. Indifferent, exposed, and absolute. A world where beauty and death share the same surface, and a reminder that in space, the most dangerous places are often the quietest. Number 2. Venus feels close enough to touch, just 40 million kilometers away. In the vast emptiness of space, that distance makes it feel like a neighbor, almost familiar. On paper, Venus doesn't look like a death sentence. The trip would take only a few months. Its size is nearly identical to Earth's. Its gravity would pull on your body in a way you already understand. For a moment, you might believe this world could welcome you. That illusion fades the moment you arrive. From orbit, Venus glows softly beneath a veil of golden clouds, smooth and endless, reflecting sunlight like a promise. They look calm, almost gentle, but those clouds are made of sulfuric acid, corrosive enough to destroy flesh and lungs in seconds. Let's imagine, somehow, your suit protects you as you pass through them. As you descend, the light begins to disappear. The atmosphere thickens into something that feels less like air and more like weight. Carbon dioxide surrounds you, trapping heat, swallowing visibility, pressing inward from every direction. The sun is close, yet the surface below remains dim and hazy, as if the planet is hiding from it. Then the heat takes hold. 450 degrees Celsius. Hot enough to melt lead. Hot enough that metal weakens, electronics fail, and time itself feels shorter. The temperature doesn't spike or fluctuate. It simply exists, relentless, inescapable, everywhere. You try to move. Even though your weight feels normal, every step is a fight. The air is so dense it pushes back, turning motion into labor. Walking feels like forcing your body through thick water. Breathing would be impossible without machines doing the work for you. And beneath it all is the pressure. 92 times stronger than Earth's. Enough to crush submarines. Enough to bend steel. Your suit groans under the strain, every seal under attack. You wouldn't hear it fail. You'd feel it, first as force, then as collapse. If the pressure doesn't end it, the heat will. If the heat doesn't, the acid will. On Venus, there is no dramatic struggle for survival. No last stand. No second chance. There is only a brief moment of realization. That a planet so close, so similar, so beautiful from afar, was never meant for us at all. Number 3. Mars has a way of drawing us in before it ever reveals the truth. From a distance, it feels familiar. A rust-colored world hanging in the dark, often called Earth's closest neighbor. In many ways, it looks like the most livable planet beyond our own. And for a brief moment, standing beneath its pale, dusty sky, you might almost believe you could belong there. During the day, Mars can surprise you. In certain regions, temperatures climb higher than expected, reaching close to 20 degrees Celsius. Not scorching, not frozen. Compared to the merciless heat of Venus or the violent extremes of Mercury, Mars feels almost gentle, almost welcoming. A planet that seems to whisper possibility instead of danger. But Mars never shows everything at once. When the sun slips away, the planet changes. Heat drains from the surface as if someone pulled a silent switch. Temperatures plunge rapidly, sinking to -13 degrees Celsius or far lower depending on where you stand. The ground hardens. Warmth disappears. What felt manageable hours earlier becomes a quiet emergency. And then there's the air, or the lack of it. Mars holds only a thin atmosphere, made mostly of carbon dioxide, with barely a trace of oxygen. There is nothing here to breathe. No pressure to protect the human body. No invisible cushion keeping life intact. Exposure wouldn't be dramatic. It would be fast, and final. Above you, another threat never stops. Radiation rains down constantly, 40 to 50 times stronger than what we experience on Earth. It damages cells, disrupts DNA, and slowly erases the possibility of long-term life. You wouldn't feel it. You wouldn't hear it. It would simply wear you down, minute by minute. And when Mars moves, it moves with force. Massive dust storms sweep across the planet, winds screaming past 100 kilometers per hour. They last for weeks, sometimes months. Sunlight disappears. Machines choke. Human systems are pushed to their limits. On Mars, survival isn't impossible, but it's never simple. It demands sealed shelters, unbreakable systems, and constant vigilance. Because the red planet doesn't kill you suddenly. It waits, and it lets the planet do the rest. Thank you for watching. If this journey stayed with you, subscribe for more unseen true stories all time.